Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, so you never miss a play. The locker room at the Commanders has reportedly been boiling over in recent days, and whispers have now escalated into outright stormy chatter. After Jayden Daniels' explosive comments, sources inside the organization claim that Daniels, visibly frustrated, told teammates that he was tired of pretending, a statement that has sent shockwaves through the franchise, according to insiders. The quarterback's frustration isn't just about personal performance or missed opportunities on the field. It's tied to a deep sense of disconnect with the team's leadership, the offensive scheme, and even the locker room culture itself. Teammates say Daniels has been increasingly vocal in meetings, challenging play calls, questioning coaching decisions, and refusing to hide his dissatisfaction, which some players interpret as a breaking point that could redefine the team dynamic. The mood is reportedly tense, with veterans torn between supporting their quarterback and trying to maintain a semblance of unity, while younger players are quietly taking notes, perhaps seeing a fracture that could shape their own futures, even though nothing is official. The word is that Daniels' patience has run out, and that his comments weren't just heat-of-the-moment frustration, but a calculated signal to the organization that something has to change. Fans following the team's off-season activities have been quick to pick up on subtle hints in social media posts and interviews, where Daniels' dissatisfaction has seemingly been creeping into public perception. Analysts note that this is not the first time a Commanders player has aired grievances in recent years, but the manner in which Daniels has done it, directly addressing the team and signaling his unwillingness to continue faking it, has made it feel more like a declaration of intent than a passing moment of frustration behind closed doors. Sources suggest that the coaching staff is scrambling to figure out how to respond without further escalating tensions. There are whispers of emergency meetings, strategic sit-downs, and intense discussions aimed at calming nerves and preventing the situation from spilling into the public domain in a more dramatic way. The reality is that when a quarterback, especially one still considered young and a potential cornerstone of the franchise, declares such dissatisfaction so openly, it doesn't just affect game planning, it ripples across every facet of the team, from the locker room hierarchy to media strategy, and even to the front office's long-term roster planning. Reports indicate that Daniels' frustration stems from more than just a single lost game or missed opportunity. Insiders suggest a growing disconnect with the offensive identity and the way leadership has managed personnel decisions. While the team officially maintains that everything is under control, multiple anonymous sources insist the quarterback has been vocal about feeling unsupported, citing a lack of trust in the system and disagreement with how certain players are utilized. Some teammates have described a silent tension during practices, where Daniels' usual enthusiasm is replaced by pointed critiques and visible frustration, which, in turn, affects team chemistry. The media has started speculating about whether this could lead to a public confrontation, trade rumors, or even a shakeup in the coaching staff. The situation, according to insiders, has reached a stage where everyone in the organization is aware that ignoring it could have cascading consequences. Yet no one seems to have found a solution that would satisfy both the quarterback and the broader team culture. The drama is simmering, and every move is being watched with the kind of scrutiny usually reserved for off-field controversies in far larger sports markets. Some sources suggest that Daniels' candid remarks may have been a tipping point after months of building frustration, where minor disagreements, perceived slights, and strategic disagreements accumulated into a sense that he could no longer maintain a facade. Teammates who have been in similar situations recall that breaking point moments like this often precede pivotal shifts in team dynamics, whether through trades, coaching changes, or internal culture overhauls. There are whispers that the quarterback's public declaration of frustration was partly strategic, a way to force the front office to acknowledge grievances and address underlying issues rather than allowing simmering dissatisfaction to continue unchecked. Within the locker room, some players reportedly support him, believing that honest confrontation is necessary for growth, while others are wary, concerned about the optics and potential media fallout. It's a delicate balancing act, and every comment, every eye roll, every subtle gesture during team meetings is now being dissected as a potential clue to the next development. The rumor mill suggests that the coming weeks could define Daniels' tenure in Washington, and perhaps even determine whether the Commanders are heading toward a cultural reset or a period of prolonged unrest. Complicating matters is the perception that the front office may be caught off guard, as whispers suggest management had not fully anticipated such a public airing of grievances. Some insiders claim that meetings with Daniels prior to his statement had attempted to mitigate tensions, but sources hint that the quarterback was already determined to make his stance known. Analysts are speculating that this could affect not only the team's short-term performance, but also the long-term player acquisition strategy, as potential free agents and draft prospects watch closely to see whether this is a stable environment or a brewing storm. The Commanders have historically struggled with locker room cohesion in moments of heightened tension, and sources suggest that if Daniels' frustration is not addressed thoughtfully, the team could see ripple effects that extend far beyond the quarterback position. Social media has amplified the situation, with fan theories, insider leaks, and subtle hints from teammates creating a feedback loop of speculation that further fuels the narrative. Each new post or comment adds layers to an already complex and emotionally charged story. Finally, the rumor mill is filled with speculation about what Daniels' next move might be. Will he demand changes in the coaching staff? Will he push for a trade if the situation doesn't improve? Some sources suggest that he's prepared to take a firm stand, regardless of the consequences, signaling that his patience is exhausted and that he will no longer compromise personal principles for organizational convenience. Teammates' reactions vary from cautious optimism that honesty will lead to improvements, to concern that the public revelation could create divisions too deep to repair. In essence, the quarterback's candid declaration may have triggered a chain reaction, exposing vulnerabilities within the team that have long been under the surface. As insiders describe it, the locker room is in flux, staff are scrambling to maintain authority, and fans are left wondering whether this is a temporary blip or the start of a seismic shift in the Commanders' culture and future trajectory. The tension is palpable. The rumors are rampant, and every eye is on Jayden Daniels as he navigates this volatile moment. As the story continues to unfold, insiders emphasize that Daniels' comments have sparked a wide array of reactions within the team and among analysts, creating what some are calling a culture crisis that could redefine the Commanders' identity. While the organization officially projects calm and confidence, multiple reports suggest that the quarterback's statement was more than just a venting moment. It was a deliberate signal to the coaching staff and front office that he will not continue under conditions he finds unsustainable. Players describe locker room conversations that are charged with tension, whispers of dissent, and subtle alliances forming among those who see his frustration as valid and those who fear destabilization. Sources suggest that the team's veteran leaders are attempting to mediate, but the divide between those who support Daniels' directness and those who prioritize conformity is increasingly evident. Analysts note that quarterback-led culture shifts are notoriously tricky, as the position carries not only on-field responsibilities but also immense symbolic influence, making Daniels' candidness potentially both an opportunity and a challenge for the organization. The narrative now dominating rumor circles is that the Commanders may be on the cusp of significant internal change, with every move being scrutinized for signs of either reconciliation or further unrest. There are reports that Daniels' frustration has also affected relationships with coaching staff, particularly in how offensive strategies are deployed and how personnel decisions are communicated. Sources claim that he has questioned play calling openly, debated the utilization of certain players, and refused to adhere silently to decisions he perceives as misaligned with team success. Teammates reportedly notice a sharper tone in meetings, more pointed critiques on the practice field, and a general sense of heightened emotional intensity surrounding Daniels' presence. Some insiders suggest that this transparency, while disruptive in the short term, may force the organization to confront long-standing issues that have been ignored in favor of stability. Analysts are speculating that if handled properly, this could catalyze a realignment of the team's priorities, giving Daniels and like-minded players a renewed sense of agency, while also testing leadership's capacity to maintain authority in a high-pressure environment. Every subtle gesture, every comment in interviews, and every strategic move now carries amplified significance in the ongoing rumor storm surrounding the Commanders' locker room. Sources close to the situation emphasize that Daniels' public declaration has unleashed not only internal discussions but also a media frenzy, with analysts, insiders, and fans dissecting every word, body language cue, and post-game expression for evidence of deeper fractures. There are suggestions that front office officials are conducting internal assessments, exploring both immediate fixes and long-term solutions, all while attempting to maintain a veneer of organizational stability. Meanwhile, social media amplifies every detail, creating an environment where rumors, leaks, and speculation feed off each other at a rapid pace. The quarterback's statement is now being framed as a cultural inflection point, a moment that could redefine team hierarchy, influence player morale, and even affect draft strategies or trade considerations. As analysts and insiders weigh in, there is a growing sense that this is not merely a single-season story, but potentially a turning point in the Commanders' identity. One that will be remembered in the annals of team lore regardless of immediate results on the field. Within the locker room, teammates report that discussions have become more candid, sometimes heated but often necessary. As the organization confronts the implications of Daniels' stance, some veterans have taken it upon themselves to mediate, while others are quietly evaluating their own positions within a team now under intense scrutiny. Rumors indicate that player cliques may be shifting, with some rallying around Daniels' honesty and others aligning more with coaching staff priorities, creating a delicate balance that must be navigated carefully to avoid escalation. Observers note that quarterback-driven cultural adjustments are rare but highly influential, especially when paired with public declarations of dissatisfaction. The ongoing rumor cycle suggests that the Commanders' leadership faces a dual challenge: preserving cohesion and authority, while also accommodating the legitimate frustrations of a young quarterback whose voice has grown impossible to ignore. Every practice, every meeting, and every interview is now a potential signal, feeding into the broader narrative that the team may be undergoing its most profound internal test in years. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. Reports also suggest that the external perception of the team has been impacted by Daniels' statements, as fans and media alike debate whether his candor is a sign of strength or a harbinger of internal dysfunction. Analysts are speculating about potential consequences, including changes to coaching philosophy, roster adjustments, or even trade considerations, all while emphasizing that the quarterback's influence is pivotal. Sources close to management indicate that strategic discussions are ongoing, focusing on both damage control and potential opportunities to leverage the situation into positive change. While speculation dominates public discourse, the reality inside the locker room is a mix of tension, cautious optimism, and uncertainty, creating a fertile ground for rumors that will likely persist for weeks. Every insider account, every subtle leak, and every cryptic social media post adds fuel to a story that seems to be evolving in real time, leaving fans, analysts, and commentators glued to every development as Daniels' words continue to reverberate throughout the franchise. Sources suggest that the quarterback may be positioning himself not only as a leader, but also as a catalyst for organizational change, challenging both coaching decisions and broader team culture. Rumors indicate that some staff members view his candor as a wake-up call, while others see it as a threat to authority, creating a dynamic that is at once tense and transformative. Analysts speculate that if handled strategically, this moment could solidify Daniels' role as a central figure in shaping the Commanders' identity, while mismanagement could exacerbate fractures and lead to longer-term instability. The narrative now dominating insider discussions is one of high stakes: a young quarterback refusing to pretend, a coaching staff under pressure, and a locker room navigating an unprecedented wave of honesty and uncertainty. Every decision, every conversation, and every public statement carries heightened weight, creating an environment where rumors are not merely entertainment. They are a reflection of an organization in the midst of a potential turning point. Finally, insiders suggest that the coming weeks will be critical in determining the trajectory of both Daniels' career with the Commanders and the broader culture of the franchise. While speculation is rampant, sources indicate that the quarterback's willingness to speak openly may force the organization to confront uncomfortable truths, adjust its internal dynamics, and potentially redefine leadership structures. Analysts emphasize that quarterback-led cultural shifts are rare and fraught with challenges, but when executed effectively, they can serve as the foundation for renewed team cohesion, stronger communication, and enhanced performance. The locker room remains charged, whispers persist, and every subtle interaction is now scrutinized for hints of the next move. As the rumor mill churns, fans, analysts, and insiders alike are watching closely, anticipating whether this is the start of a tumultuous period or a transformative chapter in the Commanders' history. With Jayden Daniels squarely at the center of the narrative, refusing to pretend and forcing the franchise to confront its present reality in real time. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.